It's time to catch up with some new arrivals. I'm talking about some babies. Now, these ones are cute, but let me tell you, they're also quite deadly. Some people may call these serpents adorable, but I think I'll just call them by their ominous sounding name. Say hello to a death adder. These little guys are kept separate from their parents, as sometimes mum and dad mistake them for a tasty treat. So enter wildlife keeper Tanya Carter, who's been taking care of these babies. Tanya, how old are these little death adders?
They're about 3 weeks old now, and they were all born on my birthday.
Wow, how exciting.
Yeah.
Now, how many were born in the litter?
The mum had 19, and you look at between about 10 and 20 as being average, but they can have up to 30.
Wow.
It's a lot.
A female death adder is capable of reproducing every 2 years, and she usually gives birth in late summer. But the process of bringing these young ones into the world is a little different from most snakes. How does this species of snake begin its life?
Well, these little guys are actually born live. They don't hatch from eggs. And you know, when each one's born, it's like it's got its very own little plastic bag. You can see the little snake, and he has to break through the little plastic bag. It's so amazing.
Wow, and are they about the size that they are now, or much smaller?
Look, they're about the size. It's a weird kind of thing. You sort of look and think, oh my gosh, how did they all fit in that mum's tummy? And it's almost as if they kind of puff out after they're born. One of the things they do, as soon as they are born, they absorb the remaining yolk, and so that kind of gives them that little bit of energy and a little bit of time for them to kind of cruise around.
Why are some snakes born in eggs and others, like the death adder, born live?
Look, snakes that lay eggs, once they've laid the eggs, if the weather sort of changes, they can't just go, whoa, I'll just kind of pick them up and move them. Whereas snakes that retain the eggs and then give birth to live babies are able to always access the warm and the cool spots. So you often find that the reptiles that will live in areas that get quite cold will have the live babies. There's some snakes that will even bask on the snow. That's pretty nifty.
That's out there.
Yeah.
They're already displaying some pretty amazing colouring. Will this change much as they get older?
This will change a little bit with these guys. Usually by the time they've shed about 3 or 4 times, they're looking really nice and bright, and they just kind of continue to get a little bit brighter and a little bit brighter till they're just beautiful.
So where do you normally find death adders in Australia?
Look, you can find death adders in so many different states of Australia. You do not find them in Tasmania, and a large part of Victoria you do not find them. But you tend to see these little guys, especially more sort of rainforesty type areas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they like all the leaf litter to hide in amongst.
Death adders are ambush predators. This means they sit and wait for their prey to come close enough for them to deliver a fast and fatal bite. They achieve this with a pretty cunning trick. So what trick does this snake have up its scaly sleeve?
Okay, well, these little guys have a lure. They use their tail as a lure, and when they're sitting waiting, they don't cruise around looking for food. They just sit and wait and wait. They have so much patience. And they will have their little tail beside their head, and their tail wiggles, and they make it look like a little worm.
Right.
And so a little lizard will come over, or even sometimes a frog, and when they get close enough, bang,
Guess who's dinner?
gobbled up. Yep, absolutely.
The death adder loves to attract the attention of small mammals and birds. For dinner, that is. At what age will these babies be fully grown?
Look, it depends on food, how much food is around. In captivity, by 2 years old, these little girls and boys could be having their own girls and boys. Out in the wild, you'll find between 3 and 4 years on average.
But for now, these death adders are probably just going to do what babies normally do, and that's look cute. Although, there's something about their name that seems to, well, lessen their cuteness.